On this episode of Two Dudes, One Cart, John and I sit down to continue our Leveling Up Your Game series of podcasts. So sit back, relax, and enjoy this open edition of Two Dudes, One Cart. And thank you for listening. Well, it's kind of a sad day for the boys here at Two Dudes, One Cart. We had a match planned at Coyote Crossing, and Lafayette appears to be getting ready to get hit by a monsoon. Welcome to the Midwest, John. How you doing this lovely Sunday morning? It's open fourth round Sunday morning.
Yeah, bad news. We can't golf outside. Good news is we'll probably be watching more of the Open than I ever have in previous years.
Yeah, I
So we got that going for us, which is nice.
we've talked about that in the past. I like Royal Portrush. Um, I do get up in the morning before I go to work with some coffee and see a little bit here and there. And um, obviously today with the weather, going to get to see a lot more of it, like you said, than we're used to. But
Yeah,
I still like my pick. I think that Scheffler's going to seal it up. I can't imagine a world where he falls apart when he's, whatever, four strokes up
yeah,
on the field. And the course looks gettable this morning from what I've watched. Lowry put up whatever five, 6 under this morning. He just wrapped up. So uh, the king will remain king at this point, I think.
yeah. I don't see him wavering by any means. Like that just doesn't happen with him. Maybe he just shoots like a one or two under and just rides out the four shot lead. But yeah, I would say that's a pretty good play, pretty good
Yeah, I
pick.
think that he just looks so sharp, man. And the way he's playing and he's got so much control. Uh, I I'd give anything for, I don't know, a quarter of that.
Yeah, yeah.
So, John, we're going to stick to our leveling up your game. And for everybody out there, I don't give John any questions at any time unless we're interviewing a guest sometimes. So he's getting interviewed today, so we can get his responses. And I've got quite a few questions. Basically, everything will be on, focus and confidence, self-belief, stuff like that. John, what's your current handicap? Are you 8 or 9?
8.1
Eight
index.
point. Okay. So just to give you an idea where he's coming from. So, John, what does being fully present on the course feel like to you?
Oh man, you're either there for me, I'm either there or I'm not there. You know,
Yeah.
like just for example, this weekend, Friday, I was not there on the course. I couldn't make myself hit good shots. Like no matter what kind of tips and tricks I tried to pull out of the bag, nothing worked. And then Sunday it was just like go out there, stand behind the ball, get in line, and just hit the take a swing. And that was as simple as it was. So where Friday I was probably over analyzing everything, trying to trying to hit perfect shots instead of just hitting the golf ball, trying to make good contact.
Yeah,
So that's about
it
it.
is do you try well, let's put it this way. How hard do you try, or do you just accept that you're not here today? Is there something you try to do to try to focus in, or does that just make it worse?
I would say there's no real consistency when I'm just not hitting it well. Um, like I would try to take three practice swings and walk behind the little shot and then go back up and then hit it, right? And then I would try no practice swings. And then I just tried literally everything that I could think of, like tried to just go three-quarter swing. And just body wasn't rotating. The timing was way off. My best drives were like when my hands are way far behind, I had to flip my wrist at the bottom. That's why I wouldn't jack it way right. Nothing worked. And then yesterday came out and was like a brand new golfer. Um, and just, you know, was one over through, all the holes we got through 17 holes was one over yesterday. And weird. It's Jekyll and Hyde from one day to the next.
Well, how do you try to, or how do you come back? Well, let me rephrase that. How do you manage that? How do you, when you know that you're physically, or it's not even a physical thing, it's more
Yeah,
that your
physical,
head,
mental. I
yeah,
mean,
your
it's all
head's
the
not in
above,
it.
right? Because you're trying different mental games with yourself, and then you're trying different physical moves with the golf swing to find something that you can at least work. Um, so, like, I just admit it. Like, I'm not out here today. I am trying, regardless what it looks like, but I am not. I'm probably not going to be helping the team if there's any team events. I'm not going to be helping myself any. I'm just trying to save bogeys and get out of there with the least amount of shots as possible. But I pretty much own it. I wouldn't call it giving up because I'm still trying technically, but like I'm okay with or mentally understanding that my game's not there on a particular day.
Well, on a day where you are there, um, how do you how do you reset if you have a bad shot or a bad hole? Is there anything you do, or is it just when you're there, it's like it's going to happen and you just move on?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't throw any clubs on Friday. I didn't, I got pissed at myself, called myself some names every once in a while, but let's see, 15, I hit it in the water on that creek on yesterday when I had my good round going. I go, well, shoot, I dropped two, hit three on the green. I can still make, four. Worse, like two jacket, and then I get 5-4. I go, just another bogey, and that was a bogey. So, really didn't affect me because I guess I start thinking about once I have a hole and I finish it, and let's say bogey it or double it or just have a blow up hole. On the days that I'm in it, I know that I can go on the next. There's holes coming up that are gettable, that are scoreable, either birdie or pars. Because I've played there long enough, I've pretty much I think I've birdied every single hole out there, so I know like it's possible to make up that whatever that devastating hole was.
Do you have any do you have any kind of a I know you said, you get behind the ball and so on and so forth, but do you have any kind of a from a mental standpoint, any kind of routine that you're consistently using on a
Yeah.
on every
Well, I know
round?
when I'm hitting the ball well, I don't practice swing. Now I just stand, 5 feet behind the ball, try to find my flight path that I want the ball to go, and then I go up and hit it. Right, and it's just smooth, it's quick, um, and that seems to work. Um, Obviously, chipping, greenside chipping, or putting, I'll take practice strokes, but drivers, irons, woods, I'm just getting up there and whacking it. Right, find my line that I want to hit, let it rip. But putting, I take two putts or two practice swings on the putts. I haven't been looking on both sides of the hole. I've just been looking from, where my ball is up to the hole. And I'm just more worried about speed. If it's over 8 feet, I'm just more worried about speed to give myself a gimme. If it goes in, great. But on an 8 footer, like I'm gonna really don't care about speed that much. I'll put it those I've been blasting if I miss 3 or 4 feet past. And then chips have gotten a lot better this year. I just remember and keep my hands low, blade open, straight arm it. Just have it
Yeah,
pop.
I think everybody could learn a lot from that, especially on chips. It's not, when you're in the rough, it's nice to take a couple practice swings just to see what the grass is like if you're sitting down and get an idea of, even when you're on a nice lie, it's get an idea of where you're touching the ground for that day.
Yeah. Yeah, I would
So,
say too, depending on the course you play, you could have five different types of rough that you could be hitting out of, whether it's, a little bit thinner spot where the ball's sitting down on the dirt and you actually still have to like hit down on it, or you could have the real thick rough and it's just sitting just on top. But if you dig a little too deep, it's going to take 10 to 15 off. And then you got the medium rough where the ball's somewhat sitting up, but not perfectly on a tee, but it's not as thick as the real thick stuff. So you're going to catch a flyer. You might want to take off or choke down a quarter inch so you don't airmail the green. So I like doing that, especially if I'm hitting a 7 wood or trying to hit a forward out of the rough. I'm definitely probably, I wouldn't call them full practice swing, but I'm trying to figure out where the bottom of the club's going to be able to go.
Yeah, just feel the grass a little bit
Yeah.
and see what you're up against.
Yeah. Same thing with bunkers. I mean, since we had all this rain, the bunkers were packed.
Oh yeah.
So you and I both know we don't like those types of bunkers where it's real hard pan. So getting a feel of how much I'm going to have to hit down on this thing to pop this thing out without blading it was real important. Left a lot of those bunker shots short just because I was very timid. I'd
Right.
get on the green, but I wouldn't fly them where I used to know that they would sit and grab. I'd get them about halfway there. It seemed like almost on all those wedge shots out of the bunker.
Are there any things on the course that are or that might happen that are distractions or things that distract you? And if so, how do you handle those?
Um, there's not a whole lot of distractions. I don't mind talking. Obviously, I don't mind music. The only one that's kind of got us is like over the fourth, loud
Oh yeah,
firework bangs, like just
random.
TNT dynamite just going off. Like that sucks. Or at Elon on Fridays they do the tornado siren test,
Oh
and
yeah,
it's really not distracting. It's more just annoying. Like I just kind of want to wait around until that's over. Um, but I guess the only other distracting things if you play like an old style muni or a country club that's got some holes that go straight down, straight back, and you got guys kind of teetering in your fairway or in your rough area or places that you've hit the ball before where you might nail them. That can mess me up, but I just have to stop, reset, look behind the ball, wait for him to clear out of the way, and then just nail it. But besides that, I mean, nothing really gets too crazy. I mean, if you got shitty partners, and when I mean shitty partners, like shitty people in your foursome, for me is they don't say a word all day.
right.
Uh, they take an exorbitant amount of time over the ball, take multiple swings, go back, take multiple swings, then maybe have to go back to the cart to get a club. Um, and that's really about it. I mean, I guess if you had a Debbie Downer throwing and chucking clubs all day, that can be a little bothersome at times. But I mean, we've all done it as long as it's not every single shot.
Right.
I would say. But yeah, slow play, not very talkative. People in the foursome that sucks. Um, Slow rounds of golf like this weekend. We had I think eight of the holes. We had two sets of teams on, so we're
Wow.
playing about 2 hours, 2.5 hours, a nine, which is long for us at Elon. So when it feels like when you're sitting out there for 10 minutes just baking in the sun or and go find a piece of shade to sit in, it's you kind of get distracted. You start talking about life, but then that part's also enjoyable too. So it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't there as well.
Well, out jump off a little bit onto that before I move on to these next questions. How do you? I think we've all been there. Um, if you're playing in a foursome and you've got a guy that, in your mind takes a little bit long to get set up and to take his shots, but say you're 6 holes in, guy hasn't missed his fairway, guy hasn't missed a green. Uh, let's say he's made 3 birdies out of those 6 holes,
Yeah.
but it's still like, my God, man, can you pick it up? Do you just chew on your tongue because he's on one, or do
Yeah.
you kind of push the pace a little bit?
Yeah. I'd be more of the pushing the pace, not to him, right? I'm just going to play ready golf. So while he's doing his fucking thing, even if I'm, 20, 30 yards ahead of him, it's not my turn. I'm going up and hitting. And then I'm driving my partner around to wherever their ball is next. So that way, well, Doofus is taking his 5 minute pre shot routine. We can get some shots out of the way to help speed it up, especially like even on the putting green. Some of those guys want to look on both sides of it, do the aim point or whatever, I don't even care what it is. If they're taking more than 30 to 40 seconds,
Yeah,
I'm just gonna go ahead and hit it.
I it's been a while back, but I've played with a guy that was playing really well, and I wasn't out there to try to ruin it, but he was also a guy that if you were up there and you were playing ready golf and you were taking your shot, he would not start his routine
Until you're
until
done.
you have taken your shot. And eventually I did say something like, dude, I mean, like,
We got to pick it up.
yeah, come on,
And by we, you.
Yeah, it's like, come on.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's great. I think at some point you have to. Um, I think we all get a little affected by slow play. I think one thing that needs normalized is if you see a guy in your fairway and you know he's playing at the other hole coming at you and he waits for all you guys to tee off,
Yep.
I think you should wait by the tee box until that guy hits his shot because there's nothing worse than you're standing over. Let's say you're right side of the trees. You've got to get back over,
Yeah.
or you can play straight down the fairway that you shouldn't be in, but you are.
Yeah.
And there's nothing worse than you're lining up and those guys cut across from the tee box, right heading straight at you, and you're trying to hit straight at them. I'm like,
Yeah.
just stay at the tee box, let me hit, and then we'll move on from. At least give me one swing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that happened to me on eight or on hole three. I played it up eight yesterday. Pulled my driver left because I went out of bounds previous round. So I yanked it pretty far left, right in the middle of eight fairway. The guys were teeing off of eight, but it was into the wind. So I was downwind hitting towards the tee box on eight. And they just kind of, they just waited for me to hit. And I blasted my forward down there. It didn't get close enough to them, but they could definitely see it coming at them. And then after I moved out and went back to three, they hit off and there was no big deal.
Right. So, what's your intentions when you step onto the first tee? What's your mindset, your overall feeling, and when you do feel most confident in your game, what do you think brings that on and why?
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I lose and I actually hit more than 10 balls on the range and my hips are opened up, like I'm going to try to hit a pretty good drive on the first one because I know that's going to set the tone for the round. If I hit a good drive, like yesterday morning, pounded driver, just little baby draw right down the gut, ran another 20 probably after it landed. And I knew like that was, first shot of the day. I go, oh, these boys are in trouble, because my drives typically get better as the round goes on because I'm getting more loose, getting more swings in. Versus Saturday, like I duck hooked it stiff, pulled the crap out of it, and I go, oh shit, this is, we'll have to see how today goes. And so it's definitely, but me, it's just trying to make solid, like hitting it solid, not on the toe. Because normally if I'm stiff, I'm gonna come over the top and try to save it, and on the toe jam it left.
So, would you say that it's not really so much rolling up to that first tee feeling confident. It's more like you're feeling ready to play. Your confidence is probably developed by the end of that first hole.
Yep. Yep. I would say if I feel loose, I feel confident on the tee box.
Okay.
Um, that would probably be it. Yeah.
Now, if you haven't played with John, this might be a funny question because John's normally verbal. But what is your internal dialogue like during a round, and is it helpful or is it critical?
Yeah. I don't have very much nonverbal internal discussions with myself. It's almost all verbal. Um, I like to call myself all kinds of names when I hit all different types of shots. Um, most of them are not very pleasant to most people, uh, but I kind of snaps me back into it. Like get your head out of your rear end type of thing. Um, that's how all my sports coaches were all verbal. I know my dad was very verbal, and stern. So for me, I like to be staring at myself to get my head out of my rear end.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously I've heard you plenty of times just off the
Yeah.
first tee before we've ever even hit any balls, and you're already you're
Yeah.
already giving yourself a
Yeah.
little grief to kind of put yourself. It's almost like just triggering. Hey, we're here at the golf course. We're here to play.
Step it up.
Yeah, let's see what we got.
Yeah,
Like,
like
and I and
let's
I
step on
understand it.
this. I'll call myself a little B word before I even hit the drive because I know like, hey, swing all not all that for me is all that's telling me is rotate all the way through and actually, power through the drive. But like, when you and I play team events or like at the member gas, anything where I have a partner, like there's a lot of times I'm just saying what I want the ball to do verbally, so I get either a, a nod from you or whoever my partner is, or a verbal confirmation like that's the right play.
Right.
Because there's not a whole lot of time when you don't take practice swings to stop yourself, and so it's like if I don't give that verbal cue out, like hey, I'm gonna hit a little, aim at the right bunker, wind's coming off the right to left, like got 9 iron. I'll pause for a brief half second, and if I get the verbal confirmation, I'll just go up there and hit it. No big deal. But if they're like, then it's like, okay, well, let's stop.
Let's
What are
talk it
you
out.
thinking?
Right.
Yeah, let's figure this out before we go. And I have to call myself a little B word after I hit it.
Now, since you're obviously you're familiar with Yulin, if you're having maybe you're somewhat confident, is there any like do you ever look back at a past shot or a past performance that you've had out there uh, that you go, hey, here on, I'll say three. Here, here on three, man, like, my last four rounds, I don't even need to worry about going right.
Yeah,
Is it, do you try to recall any of those shots if you're kind of like, if you're, let's say
yeah,
your drive was shaky on one
yep,
and your next drive's not going to be till three and that
yep,
dick that built that course that way, that's not the hole you want to be shaky with your driver on.
yeah.
But is that
Yeah,
something
I
you do?
mean, I could walk you through 18 real quick. Like one, I'm going to aim left center of the fairway all the time.
Right.
Because if I toe it and it goes straight, I'm gonna probably end up in that bunker. If I hit a good drive on one, then two, it means I'm going to hit a lower, like a higher iron, higher degree iron, and I'm going to be able to swing more confidently at it. If I hit a bad drive on one, then I'm going to go up a club and swing smoother. That way I don't yank it left or do it right. Three, I'm always going to aim at the bunker on the left side of the fairway because out of bounds on the right. Four, I'm blasting it up over that tree every single time. Really
Right.
don't care if it goes left or right. Five is right, par three, right in the middle of the green. Six is just left side of the fairway because it's a dog leg left. Same thing with seven. I'm just going to go left center of the fairway. Eight, I'm just going to go right side of the fairway because it kind of slopes right to left a little bit. Um, Nine, aim at the tree line, and if it draws, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too because nine's a nasty hole. 10, I have two shots. I'm either going to hit a seven wood 210, 220 at the bunker at the end of the fairway when it's a hard dog leg right, or I'm just going to plow a driver up and over the trees and aim at the green. 11's right center. 12 is left center. If I'm hitting the ball good on 12 and 11 on the back nine, then I will go with a higher lofted iron on the short par three and just try to sky it and have it follow the sky down. Otherwise, I'm going to go up the club and swing smooth. 14's pound town. I'm just going to try to blast it left center of the fairway. 15, bomb it over the trees. 16's a 7 iron off the tee to 170 out, hit it a 170-yard shot. 17 center of the green. 18's another tough one like nine, and that's like aim down the middle of the fairway and just hope it doesn't go too far right, too far left.
Right.
So it's really the same play every single time at that course, besides the par threes. The par threes, I'll change a club based on how well I'm hitting the ball before I get to that par three.
Now, do you play to not make mistakes or do you play to try to create good shots?
Both, depending on the day. If I'm playing bad, I'm trying to avoid penalty areas. Trying to stay whatever I can do. Might not even be the right club, but whatever I can do to get away from a penalty area. Um, if I'm playing well, then I try to set myself up for good shots coming in.
Yeah, and I think that probably also depends on if you're playing in a tournament, a money match, or whatever. You might play pretty right in the gray of that. Look, I don't
Yeah,
want to make any mistakes here, but I'd
yeah,
like to hit a good shot.
yeah. Especially like this weekend was a great point that because I wasn't hitting the ball well, so I was getting very aggressive on putts because it's like if I don't make this, we lose the hole, or I can't win any points if I don't make it.
Right.
So I was really attacking everything pretty hard, like a lot of 4 or 5 footers coming back. But if I was playing the normal game out there where we got that 3 putt game, probably wouldn't be being that aggressive. I'd probably just try to diet right at the hole and leave myself, 12 inches short or, maybe 6 inches past it.
Yeah. What's your mindset around, let's say you're in a tight match. Um, Wins are kind of hard to come by, hole to hole, and your playing partners are both in piss poor areas. They both have, if you're playing a two-man one best and both the
Yeah.
guys from the other team hit a bad shot, what's your mindset there? Is it like, okay, I was going to be really aggressive.
Yeah.
Do you continue that, or do you go, hey, let's just get one in the fairway and try to
Somewhere in
get
the
up there?
fairway, somewhere on the center of the green.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just curious. I know,
Yeah.
sometimes you get the mindset like, man, I want to put one down here and give myself an easy
Yeah.
look. And sometimes taking it easy does not always work. I know you're like
No.
me when you take those easy swings, sometimes they turn into poles.
Yeah. You don't rotate. You're getting
Right.
R&D. If I'm up, if it's a tight match, I'm probably playing a little bit more conservative because I'm just going to try to make them win it from me. You guys are going to have to make birdies to win a hole off me, and I'm going to try to par you to death. If we got the gas pedal on, we're up 2 or 3. Then I get a little bit more aggressive. I don't know why. I just think it's like the adrenaline, or you just want to keep on adding a little bit of gas to the fire and keep that pedal to the ground, um, which has cost me before. Maybe just over flying a green or going at a pin where I could have just aimed 5 foot left and been putting instead of having to chip a shot. But I tend to like to put the pedal to the metal when I'm up at least 2 to 3 shots,
Now, does that
just to end it.
change? Does that change when, let's say, it's a singles match versus a two-man one best match?
No, it's probably the same for me. If I'm doing a singles match and I'm up 2 or 3, I just want to put my foot on their throat. Same thing with the team. Good thing with the team is I can have one of us can play it safe shot, the other one can go be more aggressive.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going. When you have somebody and you say, "Hey, which, which one of us? Let's get one popped out there in a
Yeah,
good spot where we know we're, birdie par,
yeah,
and then somebody else can rip at it." I think that changes the game quite a bit as far
yeah,
as how
yeah.
much you're
And
willing
in
to
your
risk.
position too, right? Are you teeing off first or you teeing off second? Right. So
Right.
the first day I had a 26 handicap with me, and he went first. Right. So that I'm like, oh well, now I gotta put one safe out there, right? All day. That's what I felt like. Um, I mean, he helped out. He had 6 pars, which is huge when he gets pops on every hole and 2 pops on 7 holes. Um, but I typically like going first because then I don't have to do anything different with my game. I can just hit my normal shots, and if the other guy wants to pound it, that's great.
Yeah, I can see that can go either way. I get it. It's one of those things that's, I think that's one thing that it just situational based. Depends on the course, the weather, how things are going,
Yeah,
what you're, how, if you and your partner ham and egg in it, then it just turns out to, if you're up by three, you're just going to try to be up by six. I
yeah.
mean,
Just
that's
close
all
this
you,
thing out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got to have a goal at that point, and you both are probably on the same page by then. What does a successful round mean to you beyond the score? And let's
Yeah.
say it doesn't have to be winning a match, but I mean, what's
Yeah.
it how do you come where do you how do you judge that round beyond the score when you come off the course?
Well, like yesterday was a successful round. We didn't do much as far as like winning or anything else like that, but it's just like I hit so many compression. I compressed the golf ball so many times with my irons and wedges. I was like, man, like I can't hit a bad shot. And he goes, well, you just flew the green. I go, yeah, that 9 iron went like 165. I can't hit that shot again. Like that's a perfect shot. Like I just, for me, I mean, me and you are probably real similar in this. We like hitting good golf shots, and a good golf shot doesn't mean you stuck it to 2 inches. It means you hit the like, I like to hit a like a little baby draw, high baby draw with an iron, and if I can press it and I see it ends up on the green, great. If I miss it a little left, a little right, I don't really care. It's like that just felt amazing. Um, so that's more, I would say, more important than score. I would say rolling some putts in, even if they're par saves. If they're birdies, even better. But even if you just roll some putts in that you probably shouldn't have made in, those always feel good. A chip in is always a successful round. Um, winning like a CTP or something like that always feels good, even if your round doesn't, you know, or if you get that one hole that you birdied all day, the rest were doubles, but you won one skin. I mean, that'll keeps me positive. It's like, well, at least I did something.
Yeah, I think I like that. I like that answer. I think that you if you play golf long enough, you have to enjoy those little wins, if you will. There's
Yeah.
probably a better way to say that, but I think that finding those, there's nothing better than, clipping a nice wedge shot and just hearing that little snap off the club and just feeling it. You just hit that as you can't hit it any
Yeah.
cleaner. Same thing with a nice bunker shot. Um, I think we all get a little lost in what we see on TV, like we've talked about before, and what's a what's a good shot for you at your
Yeah.
talent level. Um, I think if you can sit back and see that, I think that makes golf a much
Yeah.
better time. Honestly,
Oh yeah.
much better.
Yeah. I mean, hole 14, I hit it 288 according to the GPS. I teed off first. My partner was a 26, bombed it 308. I was like that got me jacked up that he had a good shot. And we're both, we're in this par five hitting irons in. And then on 17, I missed the green just short. I mean, I was 6 inches off, but I hit the most perfect 6 iron, 192, slight breeze into us. Nice little draw, started at the bunker, drew over and just hit and went stuck. Right. And I got perfect golf shot. Should have hit a 5 iron, but I hit that 6 iron as perfect as I could have hit it.
Yeah, and like we said, I think that's what you have to do. I think that though you have to enjoy those wins, celebrate them, and
Yeah.
remember them, and go, man. Like we said before, I would rather hit a good shot out of bounds than a bad shot safe a lot of times.
Oh, yeah. Yep. I mean, I, I think I'm a realist in the fact that I'm not a scratch golfer. I'm not a professional or semi-pro. I don't spend a lot of time practicing, so I don't expect to hit 14, 18 greens. Like I know probably over half the greens I'm going to miss in regulation. So long as I'm hitting good shots, and I'm pretty happy about it.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to look at it. What's what triggers an emotional reaction for you on the course? And let's say it's slow play, or let's say it's one of those things you mentioned about just kind of gets under your skin. Do you ever try to think of a way that you could just respond better or deal with it better. Especially, I think a lot of guys, and we all fall victim to it when it's just a grinder out there where you're on the tee box. There's a group in the fairway, a group on the green. Is there something that you do to help you respond better to that situation or to try to just, keep calm and still enjoy the day?
Yeah, I mean, if the weather is decent, I just like to get out of the stand up out of the cart and just walk mosey around a little bit. That way, somewhat loose. Because the worst thing I do is put my feet up on the edge of the cart, pull out the phone, sit there, and then crawl out of it, and then go try to make a swing and wonder why I'm not hitting it great. Um, I try to make if there's people that are not very talkative, I'll try to be overly outgoing and see if I can get anything out of the person. If that doesn't work after a couple holes, I'll normally just give up and probably play on my phone a little bit, or hopefully my partner is a little bit better. Um, slow play, there's really not a whole lot you can do a lot of times about slow play. They're either going to let you play through or not. And sometimes, even if they did let you play through, you're going to be stuck. So it's just got to keep your mind busy. And that's, either conversations with your playing partners or just walking around, staying loose a little bit.
All right. Well, we're going to close it out with that. We're going to close it out with a would you rather.
Okay.
So, John, would you rather sink a 50-foot putt
Mm-hmm.
or chip in from the fairway?
Probably chip in from the fairway for me.
Yeah, I almost think that's the only right answer because a lot of times that chip in could be for eagle.
Could be, yeah.
Fifty
And
foot putt is probably for birdie. Oh, well, I guess 50-foot putt could be for eagle, but
yeah, could be for bogey. No
a
one else.
smooth chip in on a par four from the fairway that could be for eagle is money in the bank and a two-shot
Yeah.
swing, no matter who you're playing against.
Yeah, chipping in is always a good feeling for me because my wedges historically, past couple of years have been trash. So that would be a pretty happy moment.
Now I'm going to throw one more in there: a chip in from the fairway or hitting it in from the bunker.
Probably fairway. I like,
Really?
yeah, I like the sands. I feel like I can always get out of them.
I think that is the hardest one to come by. I mean, I've had more chip ins from the fairway than I have. I think maybe over my span of playing golf, I can probably count the amount of sand shots I've made in from the bunker on one hand. I think it's
Yeah,
just it's a tough one to get. You don't know how much spin you're gonna get. And it's a tough shot. When I watch these guys on the PGA Tour do it, it seems like somebody's doing it every flipping round. You're
yeah.
like,
We get more control over the golf ball.
oh my God, dude, how are you? How
Yeah,
is that happening? My ball
yeah,
will,
yeah. I
mine
prefer
will
chipping out of
literally,
the fringe or the first cut or the rough over the fairway. Most places, especially if it's really tight lies, I definitely want to be in that first or second cut.
right.
So anything out of the fairway for me on that, it's like, oh, cool. I didn't have to knife it or chunk it.
Well, I hope everybody enjoys this episode. John, what is your percentage of chance that Scotty Scheffler picks up his second major championship today?
Got to give him. I'm 90% confident that Scotty's going to win today.
Yeah, I'm right. I'm definitely right there with you. I'd probably say I'm 95%. I just don't see
Yeah.
the guy giving it up. I
No.
think he's played extremely well,
Yeah.
and I just don't see anybody running him down.
No, and I don't. I don't see him going out and shooting
75,
yeah, that more.
74.
I also don't see him shooting a 62. I
Right.
think he'll shoot 3 to 4 under today. He'll play conservative, smart golf. And then I don't think anybody's going to be able to make up the 8 strokes. I think if he shoots 400, I don't think anybody's going to be able to make up the 8 strokes on him. The
Yeah, and I
next.
think even um, you saw what he's done. He knows um, when he needs to dial it in.
Yep.
He has that ability. If all of a sudden he had dropped some shots on the front nine, you better look out. He's going to terrorize the back.
Yeah, he's going to be a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, he's going to be aggressive, but he'll be aggressive to conservative targets. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he'll like, hey, I'm going to hit this here. There's a good chance it's going to roll left down towards the hole. If not, I have a really good shot at a birdie putt, and that's
Yep.
that's his golf game. I mean, you don't really ever see him just go pin hunting unless he has a wedge on his hand and he's 100 yards out or whatever.
Yeah. And he's maybe one or two back.
Right. Well, everybody, we appreciate for listening. John, I appreciate you being a good sport and taking this interview, and I'm glad we could do it on a
Sunday.
weird time for us on a Sunday morning, of open Sunday. So, as always, man, I appreciate you and look forward to talking next time, bud.
Yeah. Hopefully we get out soon.
Oh, play well.